Assalamu alaikum, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine. Welcome to day 21 of Qur'an Journaling. This is the conclusion of series 1 where we're going to be finishing off 2 ayahs today before taking a break before series number 2. I am using my Qur'an notebook. I really love this resource. I didn't expect to use it as much as I did. It has the Qur'an on one side and blank pages on the other side, as well as the translation. I have included some additional sheets of paper that I've just taped in so that I have a little more space to do my reflections and my tafsir. I also have my Ibn Kathir Tafsir book. It's been wonderful having a print tafsir, but I am also using some online lectures. My word-for-word Qur'an has been a tremendous resource, not just for the word-for-word translation, but the actual translation of each ayah is quite in-depth, and I've been using that for my Qur'an journal. So I'm taping in an extra sheet of paper so that I can write my reflections for these 2 ayahs. We are covering ayah number 30 and ayah number 31, and both of them are speaking about Jannah, and both of them are in stark contrast to the previous ayah, which spoke about hellfire. So ayah number 30 reads, "Verily, for those who believe and do righteous deeds, certainly we shall not suffer to be lost the reward of anyone who does his righteous deeds in the most perfect manner." And ayah number 31 reads, "These for them will be Aden paradise, everlasting gardens, wherein rivers flow underneath them, wherein they will be adorned with bracelets of gold, and they will wear green garments of fine and thick silk. They will recline therein on raised thrones. How good is the reward, and what an excellent murtafaqa, dwelling resting place." In this ayah number 30, the first part where it says, "For those who believe and do righteous deeds," my personal reflection is that we see this over and over again in our deen, where we are called to not just believe, but to do righteous deeds. So our religion is not one of just faith with no action. It's also not a religion of just action with the faith not being as important. Like it's not a religion where all of your actions are the only thing. You have to have the belief and the action. And that's because when you have people who disbelieve, their good actions will not amount to anything in the hereafter if they disbelieve. And so their good actions will only account for benefit in this life. So if they're working really hard and they're having success, that success will only last in this life. It won't carry through to the next life. But in this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "We shall not suffer to be lost the reward of anyone who does righteous deeds." So it means that every deed that you do, every righteous deed that you do, in the most perfect manner as well, that deed will carry through to the next life. Even if you're not enjoying the beauty of this world the way disbelievers are, your good deeds will carry through to the hereafter, and the people of Jannah who did good deeds in this life, the way they are described in the hereafter is such an elevation compared to whatever elevation disbelievers can get to in this life when they don't believe and yet they still do things that would benefit them in this life. So your deeds will never go to waste as a believer. They will always be accounted for. And of course, we're reminded that Jannah is everlasting. It's forever. And yes, sometimes the concept of forever can be difficult to wrap your head around, but it's never something negative. It will always be something positive in this everlasting Jannah. You will not get bored. You will not get tired. You will not get depressed because it's lasting forever. Those are our human emotions and our limited mind trying to understand something that's everlasting. It will be everlasting happiness in every moment. So for the illustrations, I wanted something that was in sharp contrast to the previous illustration that had a lot of darkness, except for where the writing was, of course. And so for this one, I definitely wanted a lot of green because green is represented in this ayah. And I included vegetation, gardens, and my only regret is that you see a lot more of the tree trunks rather than the foliage of the trees. And so I would have rather have more greenery rather than the brown of the trees. I did include some mountains in the background because it gives me a nice perspective for the drawing and allows me to do a sky in the distance, which I did do a setting sun or a rising sun sky because I do like the colors of the sky, but there isn't an indication of night or day in Jannah as far as I know. And this ayah is not regarding night and day, but I'm adding that for colors. And as a reminder, the illustrations are memory tools for myself as I am taking these notes. This allows me to visualize what my notes are about and visualize the ayahs, and it allows me to see the arc of the themes from this first section very clearly, because Jannah and Jahannam, hell and heaven, or heaven and hell, so Jannah is heaven and Jahannam is hell, are both depicted at the beginning of this surah. And then we have the story of the people of the cave, and then it concludes this section with revisiting our deeds and Jannah and Jahannam, and that there are consequences for our deeds, both good consequences as in good reward and negative consequences if you disbelieve and do wrong things and evil deeds. So I've written the ayahs only in English this time. There were 2 ayahs, and I wanted to leave some room for my reflections, and also the illustration for this drawing did take up quite a bit of the sides and the top, so there wasn't a lot of room left over for the Arabic, which I omitted for this entry. Each entry has been a little bit unique in that sense, adding either the Arabic or the word for word or just the translation in English. So I'm finishing up the illustration, going over it a few times just to really enhance some of those colors. I am using my Lyra color pencils, and in some cases, these pencils are just little nubs that are left, and I'm still using them because those greens are so beautiful and so vibrant, and they've got such a variety of them. I wanted to use as much of the green since that is specifically mentioned. And then just a beautiful sky in the background, something to represent beauty and calm and relaxing, because the beauty of this world is a test, but the beauty of the hereafter is just for our enjoyment. It's just a relaxation, and it's something that will bring us pure and everlasting joy. I'm adding just a few more details here before I call this done. As I am doing my illustrations, I am listening to the Tafsir for the next ayahs that I'm covering, but the next series will come possibly at a later time, as I want to keep all of the stories grouped together in one series at a time. I've really enjoyed this process. I hope that you have enjoyed it too. If you have been Qur'an journaling along with me, I would love to see your work. Please tag me on Instagram. I've already seen some of your projects and I am stunned. It is beautiful and breathtaking. Here's a quick look at both of those entries together so that you can see really the stark difference between them and what we are striving for every day and what we are trying to avoid every day. I hope that you've enjoyed this series. Don't forget to check out the blog post that accompanies this video. You can find more information about the materials that I've used, as well as the links to the resources and more pictures on every entry. You can find that link down in the description box below. And if you'd like to see how we're Qur'an journaling on a daily basis, you can find me on Instagram at Pepper and Pine.